We're taking you straight to Queensland now, where Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is speaking.
And look forward to being optimistic in 2025 about building Australia's future. We're here today for a very significant announcement. Before you hear from political representatives, I want to introduce you to Wayne Sachs. Wayne Sachs is an AMBO who came to see me way back in 2009. In February 2009 in Parliament House to talk to me firsthand about his experience of attending accidents here on the Bruce Highway, accidents which all too often resulted in fatalities or in serious injuries. And in that budget, in May of that year, we announced funding for Koroy to Curra, the first section of Koroy to Curra, A, B, C and D, were gone through with the full duplication of the highway. This was a very significant announcement. At the time, the local member for Wide Bay had been previously the Transport Minister, had described it as the worst section of road in Australia, but nothing had been done about it. The government under Kevin Rudd and Wayne Swan as Treasurer, both of whom were very familiar with this area as people from Nambour, just down the road here, were determined to get this done. And now it has all been done, making an enormous difference. But to hear firsthand, I was talking with Wayne and I have kept in touch. We were talking last week about the announcement that we were planning to make that was put in the mid-year economic forecast, and I thought it was important to give Wayne the opportunity to hear firsthand about exactly what this upgrade to the Bruce Highway means. Wayne.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate.
Well, thank you, PM, for the privilege of being here, and I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of Ministers King, Chalmers and Watt today. This I would call it a love affair between the Prime Minister and myself, started in February 2009 when I went to Canberra when he was Infrastructure Minister to talk about the fatalities on the Bruce Highway. And also the people that were suffering serious injury over a long period of time with nothing being done. He spent a good hour with me in Parliament House that day. He listened intently and he listened and acted. And we are ever so grateful because what he did was he took it to Cabinet. It moved from number 26 on the priority list, I believe, up to number 1 in the country, and things got done almost immediately. So the meeting took place in February 2009. He announced it in the May of 2009, and in September 2009, on the 3rd of September, the first sod was turned with the PM and myself there. And what that has done is literally saved hundreds and hundreds of lives over that period of time. I can remember on Section B, on the Koroy to Curra stretch, the work started there first because in a 10-month period there were 54 people killed just in that one little section, and that's not including the people that were suffering from serious injury. So what they have done is absolutely amazing. They've saved countless and countless lives. And since this has been done, this bypassing of Gympie from Koroy to Curra, what it has actually done the fatalities have actually stopped, basically. You might get the odd bingle here or there, but basically the fatalities have stopped and they've saved countless lives. This major announcement today for what they're intending to do throughout all of Queensland, I just can't really, I'm not sure what the proper word is, but what they're doing by doing this is actually just amazing. Just incredible, because they're going to be saving literally thousands of lives for what they're doing. It's a lot of money, but by God, it's worth it. And you can't put a price on lives, of course. I have so much respect for the PM for what he has done, and for his cabinet at the time, and for continuing to push for safety on the Bruce Highway, not only through Gympie from Koroy to Curra, but throughout the whole state. It's just incredible, and you know, as I say, you know, not only were people being killed and maimed, but you've also got those poor families that had to live with all that, and it was just horrendous. And yeah, it's just great stuff. Thank you.
Well, thanks. Here. Thanks so much, Wayne, and thank you for what you do as well. What Wayne didn't say was, how long have you been in Ambo here for?
Well, all up 50 years.
Yeah.
But in Gympie, well over 30.
Yeah. 50 years as an Ambo, more than 3 decades here servicing this local community. And when Wayne came to see me at that time, he spoke with extraordinary passion, and anyone with a heart would have responded to it. And I thank you, Wayne, for what you've continued to do. He's still working as an Ambo here and has the day off today to make this contribution. So thank you very much for what you have done. Look, the 2025 election will be a clear choice. Labor building Australia's future, or a coalition determined to return Australia backwards and costing more under Peter Dutton. And that's the choice that Australians will have. We're a government that wants to invest to assist all Australians. Someone said to me about, why are you making the first announcement of this year in the electorate of Wide Bay? It's not a target seat. That's because I'm determined to represent all Australians regardless of where they live, to do the right thing in the national interest, and that's something that drives my government. The Bruce Highway is 42% longer than the Pacific Highway, and it services 62% of Queenslanders use this highway. And that's why the figures are quite horrific. 41 fatalities on the Bruce Highway in 2024. There's been 2 fatalities already in an accident already this year. And that's why this is a priority. That's why we're singling out this highway above all others to contribute 80% funding rather than the 50% that is standard across other road and rail projects across not just Queensland but around the country, because this is a special piece of highway. It's a dangerous piece of highway and it needs upgrading. During the pandemic, because I was in Canberra and couldn't go to Sydney, we did 3 road trips through Queensland, along some of which were along the full breadth just about of this highway. So saw firsthand what was needed. Today's announcement of $7.2 billion of additional funding for the Bruce Highway will save lives. It brings the Australian government contribution up to $17 billion. Previously, when I was the Infrastructure Minister, the Howard government had contributed $1.3 billion to the Bruce Highway over 12 long years of neglect. My government's determined to invest in infrastructure. And what this will do is allow for priority areas like Maryborough to Benarabi, Rocky to St Lawrence, Bowen to Townsville, Ingham to Innisfail to be upgraded. I spoke with the Queensland Premier David Crisafulli yesterday. He certainly welcomed this commitment, and we discussed the need for work to commence on all of these projects as soon as possible, which is what we will do. He welcomed the fact that this is capped funding because it will ensure that we actually get it right and make sure that the projects are delivered. For a long time, there's been a lot of promises that haven't resulted in delivery. During this same period, we funded, when I was the Infrastructure Minister, the works to be undertaken, the studies and feasibility projects for the Rockhampton Ring Road. Shockingly, some almost a decade later, when we came to office, they hadn't yet dug a hole on that project and it was underfunded. Construction there is underway and will be in Rockhampton later today. We need to make sure that these projects get done. They'll create jobs while the work is being undertaken, but importantly as well, this will improve safety and will make an enormous difference to the lives of Queenslanders and all who visit this great state of Queensland.